Okay, check this out, guys. So we have this Jeep Wrangler here. It's a 3.6 liter engine. And if you have any Jeep Dodge Ram product with a 3.6 engine, you either going to experience that or you have. And it's the lifter tick. What's called a lifter tick, not always caused by a lifter. For those who know that or have experienced that or paid that bill, you know, you've already been there. But for those people who don't know what that is and why that happens, let me show you exactly. We had that Jeep came in with lifter tick. That's actually the second time we working on this car. And first time was another head, was a warranty job, so they didn't want to pay for this head or this side. And now it's on this side. These right here are the rocker arms. And these right here are your lifters. So what they do is, I'll show you on this example in this cam. This is your camshaft, and this is your cam lobes. They rotate, and then they push on that rocker arm bearing right here, okay? So they push on it, that lobe goes down, it pushes on it, and then your lifter sits right here, it lifts it out, okay? If this fails and it cannot lift it anymore, you're gonna get that tick, okay? And it does happen. But also what happens is this bearing that's inside, okay, that sometimes fails. And I'll show you the good one and the bad one next to it. So this is a good one. I'm rotating it, and you can see there's nothing special about it, okay? Now, look at this one. I'm about to push on it. Oh, it falls right away. You see how it's loose? It's not a ball bearing inside, it's the needle bearing. So it's like little needles like that. And they fail, and that it's not a bearing anymore. It just flops there. So when your camshaft hits it, it makes that little tick. What's going to happen with time, you can see is a good one here and a bad one right here. You can see how this right here, the bad one, on the sides, it's already wearing off. I'll show you. And on the other side, that's where the cam is starting to rotate. And because it's not moving on the bearing, it's starting to move on that metal. What's going to happen if you don't address it quickly or keep driving like that? That cam is going to be eaten. You're going to have to put the new cam in it, okay? Warranty will not pay. If you're doing a warranty job, they're not just going to, throw in the new components. If you don't have a warranty, probably your technician will say, hey, you need a cam, you need a set of lifters, we're already here, we have the valve cover off. But in this case, again, it's a warranty job. They're only going to pay what's covered. And in this case, the only thing that's covered is one rocker arm. That's it, nothing else. Now we're gonna tell the customer that they probably should pay at least for 2 new lifters because we already have them out, and that's going to be taken care of. Now the good thing about if you have an aftermarket warranty like this customer is they're still responsible for that engine after that. So if another one goes out, they're gonna cuff up and they're gonna pay for that. Obviously, kind of seems counterintuitive sometimes, but some warranties are better, some worse. It is what it is. But not a huge job. If you're doing a DIY, you totally can. All you have to do is pull the valve cover. This is not going to be a DIY how-to, but I'll just kind of mention it. You're going to pull the valve cover. You're going to expose your cam. If you remove this 3 caps and don't remove this last one, you'll get enough clearance to remove some of the rocker arms and lifters. Most of the time, it's the rear one that fail. Again, fairly cheap, fairly inexperienced person can do that because all you're doing basically you're removing valve cover and then everything is exposed. If you are doing something like that, or if you're ever touching the valve cover on 3.6, there's a PCV valve sits right here. At the dealership, it's $53. So at least that's the price that we saw today. The reason you want to change those is because they clog up slowly but surely. They're starting to fail, and it's going to create abnormal pressure in your engine. It's going to press out some of the oil, start pushing oil through rear main seal and some other places where you don't want it. I mean, that's the big bucks. This is very easy. You can probably do that actually without removing the valve cover, but today's video is not about that. It's about this little tick, and that's all what's causing it. So what happens when the bearing fails, it's going to basically fall down, and your camshaft lobe It's going to go just like that. And instead of riding on that bearing, it's going to start riding on that metal. You can see it's becoming shiny right here on the edges, and that's from cam lobe hitting it. So you let that happen for a long time, and it's top of the engine, so there's not a whole lot of lubrication here. So if you let that happen, your camshaft is going to wear, and you're going to have to replace cam, rocker arms, as well as the lifters. This particular job is a warranty job, so they're not gonna pay for anything beyond what's actually failed. And in this case, it's just gonna be just this rocker arm. So we're gonna have customer pay for the couple lifters and put a couple of rocker arms, and that's it. For those of you who DIYing something like that, if you have that tick and you want to get rid of it, parts are not expensive at all. This is probably $15 at the dealership. Lifter is probably $10 at the dealership, give or take. And then if you don't remove this cap right here on the cam and remove this other three, then you'll get enough clearance to remove some of the rocker arms and lifters. Most of the time, it's the rear one that fail. Again, fairly cheap, fairly inexperienced person can do that, because all you're doing basically you're removing valve cover and then everything is exposed. If you are doing something like that, or if you're ever touching the valve cover on 3.6, there's a PCV valve sits right here. At the dealership, it's $53. So at least that's the price that we saw today. The reason you want to change those is because they clog up slowly but surely. They're starting to fail, and it's going to create abnormal pressure in your engine. It's going to press out some of the oil, start pushing oil through rear main seal and some other places where you don't want it. I mean, that's the big bucks. This is very easy. You can probably do that actually without removing the valve cover, but today's video is not about that. It's about this little tick, and that's all what's causing it.